Welcome to Skin Deep with
Mary
and Diana.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So today I thought we would do a little Q&A to get to know Mary a little bit better. Yeah, so you have such a fabulous story,
Thank you.
how you got here.
Thanks.
You reinvented yourself. I think you're such an inspiration. So I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
All right. So,
And I'm going to get her next time.
so Mary, tell me about how did you get into this field?
Yeah. So I used to work in financial services. I was actually at Lehman Brothers. I was there during the bankruptcy, and I was always sort of uncertain about the career path I had chosen. I sort of had regretted not going into the medical field. And then once Lehman went bankrupt, I remember talking with a friend who's a doctor, and she said, well, it's not too late. You can go to med school. And I was just finishing
Never too late.
Yeah, but I was just finishing up my MBA, and I'm like, okay, I have to finish that. I have a few more months of that. And then, and then I have to take prerequisites and then get into med school and do residency. And I'm like, I don't have the bandwidth for that. So then she said, well, what about becoming a PA? And I was like, a personal assistant? This is 2008. And she said, no, a physician assistant.
Yeah.
So then I started looking into it. It sounded interesting. So I started volunteering in the ER at Beth Israel. They used a lot of PAs. I wanted to see if it was something that I might want to do. I thought it seemed cool. I went back, did my prerequisites, and then I ended up going to PA school. My first job out of PA school was in dermatology. I love derm. I love the visual nature of it. I love the fact that you can treat all demographics. I like doing procedures. I like working with my hands.
It's like more of a medical side of things, like curing things and diagnosing things.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So I was doing medical and aesthetic derm, and then so I worked at Schweiger Derm, and then I was at a derm practice in Mount Kisco, and then I decided I wanted to open my own place. I started, the wheels started turning in my head in like 2020, 2021. And then I finally opened in 2022.
And we're so glad you did.
Yeah, thanks. Me too.
Yeah. No, but it's inspiring.
Thank you.
Right? That's a hard road. And to make and literally you went from finance to medical aesthetics.
Yeah, I'm so glad I did it.
Derm, that's a big switch.
And no previous education is ever wasted, I always say. So even though I took sort of a nonlinear path to get here, the skills that I learned in business school are very applicable.
Was it scary?
Yes.
Making that leap?
I was. It took me a little while. I dragged my feet on it for a bit. In fact, after Lehman went bankrupt, I took a job with Barclays and worked there for a year while I sort of sorted out the situation in my head. And, I do tend to be a little bit risk averse when it comes to making these types of decisions. So I was really lucky to have my husband and, my friends as cheerleaders, and
you need that.
Help me along.
Yeah. You got to surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up. Yeah.
And that's you. I didn't know you then, but
you.
if I did.
If you did, we're going to take over the world, by the way. Okay. Next question.